She sat me down and she told me and my mom, she's like, you have something called keratoconus. And I lost a 6-figure job during COVID. I was furious. I was pissed. I was upset. I was hurting. I remember going into the car with my mom and crying my ass off. Being a woman in a male-dominated industry is What up? It's your girl Motivation with V, and this is Get Real with V, where we're going to get real, we're going to get raw, and we're going to get down to the truth. And I'm your host, Veronica Suazo. Welcome back, y'all. This is episode 3, and this is another solo episode with me. Today, the topic I want to talk about is resilience. So before I get into this topic, I want to ask you a question. I want you to think about a time in your life when you were going through a very, very tough time. And in that moment, it felt like you weren't going to get through it. It felt like, this is it. I'm done. Think about that moment and hold that moment dear to your heart and your mind right now as I go into this episode. The reason why I'm asking you this question is because right now there's so much going on in the world, a lot of chaos and evilness, and people are really going through it. The community is going through it right now, whether it's finances, whether it's relationships, whether it's mental, whether it's their education, their job. There's so many things that are happening. And I want to be able to instill hope and remind you that although it feels never ending, it feels like you're not going to get through this tough time, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I have too been through a lot of adversity. A lot of things in my life that I didn't think I was going to get through. By the grace of God, by my faith, by being a person that has resilience and always pushes forward no matter what, I know you're also going to get through this hard time. It may not feel it. You may feel alone, and I hear you. I'm with you. I feel you. I validate you. But this episode is to remind you that you have already been through a lot and you have made it through. And sometimes it's hard to know that you're going to make it, that you're going to get through something when you're currently in that moment, when you're currently going through it. So I want to help you connect the dots backwards. Because there are a lot of examples in your life right now where you have persevered, where you have pushed through and made it out to the other side. So if you are currently going through a hardship right now, just know you are not alone. There are so many of us also going through it. And I hope that this episode gives you that little bit of hope you need. Plants that little seed in you to hold on to your faith and keep pushing forward and pay attention to the signs that the universe gives you, because the universe is always giving you opportunities, signs, synchronicities every day to help you move forward. So I hope and I pray that whatever you're going through is just temporary and you will get through this. Okay, so let's get into a little bit about my life and a couple of situations I've been in where I felt like I was never going to get out of it. The first one that I want to share is when I found out that I have keratoconus. Keratoconus is a disease in the eye. And pretty much my eye is shaped like a football. If you look at me from the side, you'll see that like my eyeball like bulges out. So when I was in my teens, I might have been like in my 20s, when I went to go visit my eye doctor. Mind you, I hadn't worn my glasses for years because I thought it was not cool to wear glasses during that time because you would get bullied, right? So I never wore my glasses. And when I finally went back to go visit my doctor and she did the physical exam, she did the exam in my eyes, she sat me down and she told me and my mom, she's like, you have something called keratoconus. And the thing with keratoconus, for those that have it or know about it, is that with time, it progresses and you can become blind. So you can imagine a 20-something-year-old hearing for the first time that I can potentially go blind. And on top of that, I can't wear glasses anymore. Now I have to wear contacts for the rest of my life to see. I can no longer see with glasses. Mind you, during this time, I was also on a path to following the path of becoming a police officer. And for those that are police officers or have tried to be a police officer, you have to pass a bunch of tests, one of them being a physical test, which includes a vision test. So when I found out that I was not going to be able to see very clearly, I was worried. But not only that, I was worried that I was going to potentially go blind. Like, that was what was in my mind. I was like, I'm so young. Like, what the fuck? Like, am I really like not going to be able to see? Like, I felt like my life flashed in one moment when she told me that. And I thought that was it. I remember going into the car with my mom and crying my ass off because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know whether I was going to go blind at some point and how soon I was going to go blind and what career am I going to be able to do if I do go blind. So I cried, and for years I suppressed it. But deep down inside, I was always holding on to that. And thankfully, I found a doctor who specializes in keratoconus. And so I made sure to do my checkups with him every 6 months. I go to the eye doctor like maybe 3 times a year because of this, just to make sure my eyes are okay. And I also have to wear special contact lenses that are hard. Like, literally, I could touch it. You guys are probably going to get grossed out, but whatever. I could literally touch it and it's glass. And here's the thing, you guys. This is what sucks for me. At least it did before. Now I've gotten used to it. Every morning I wake up, I have to put on my contact lenses. Every night before I go to bed, I have to take off my contact lenses. I can't operate in life. I can't go and be normal, I guess. Or I don't want to say normal, but I can't just like wake up out of bed and go and read a book or do normal things because I can't see. I literally have to wake up. I have a routine. Wake up, brush my teeth, use the bathroom, and put my eyes on. And then I can get my day started. But I have to. And I always have to take them off before bed. I can't sleep with them on. It's not good. And so imagine being someone who has ADHD and is not really great at doing things when it comes to like sometimes I feel like the ADHD will get the best of me where I don't want to do certain things. And so even sometimes it takes me some time to take off my lenses because I'm laying in bed and I'm like, oh, I don't want to take them off. So these are little things that I've struggled with that I'm saying for the first time. And it has been hard for me. And I've always, I guess, put myself I never allow myself to cry about it and really think through what I was going through. But thankfully, when I met with my doctor last year, he told me the good news that my keratoconus has not progressed and that at this age, it is more than likely that it won't progress. So although I do have to still wake up, put my contacts on, go to bed, take them off, and can do this for the rest of my life, I'd rather that have that than be blind and not be able to see. So I look at the glass half full, and I'm just grateful that I can still see and I can do this. I can do everyday things. But that was one of the reasons I truly believe in prayer and truly believe in a higher power. Also because the doctor told me that it's very rare for somebody with keratoconus to not go blind or for it not to progress. So the fact that mine hasn't progressed is almost like a miracle. So my mom, when my mom knew about me having keratoconus, she immediately went to prayer, immediately prayed for me. And I truly believe her prayers have saved me. That's all I can say. But this is a moment in my life where I thought I was going to go blind and I thought everything was over for me. And I'm here and I can see. And when I look back and I connect the dots, I wouldn't change a thing. Because one, it made me strong. And it made me realize and be grateful for having my senses. Sometimes we go through life not really paying attention to the little things, like being able to touch things, being able to smell, being able to taste, see, hear. These are little things, right? That you don't really think about daily because we're going through so much shit in life. But I guarantee if you take a moment to sit there and realize I can still move my hands, I can still exercise, I can still walk, I can still see my mom, those little things, that gratitude will change your day. And so I've been more focused on gratitude. This circumstance pushed me to be more grateful for my vision, more grateful for everything, my body, what I can do. And that's why you guys see me on my stories where I exercise, where I post and I do a lot of things because I still can. And I meditate and I share with you how grateful I am because I am, because life is too short. So yeah, I wanted to share that story with you guys. And I hope that it resembles or aligns for you. Maybe it's something similar you've gone through or you're currently going through. I just want you to think about how you got through it, the feelings that you felt during that journey, and knowing that you came out on top of it and what you learned from it. The next story I want to share, this one is a little crazy. Some people know this story, but not everyone knows this story. So go get your popcorn and get ready because we about to put some people on blast. But I'm gonna be respectful about it. This is my journey. This is my story. There was a point in time when I was working at a tech company as security. And the thing about me is that I work my ass off, okay? At every job I go to, I always move up the ladder because I know that I want to move up. I want growth. I want more. And I always let my boss know that I want more. And not only do I tell them, but I also show them that I want more. I always do more than I'm asked to do. And so I went to this job as a supervisor first. And within the 6 months that I started, I moved up to account manager. And this position was at a different site, not at the site I was at as a supervisor. This tech company has multiple sites everywhere. So I took the risk and I decided to go to this other site so I can grow and, of course, get more pay and have more responsibilities. And within a couple months, my old boss from the other site was leaving. And so he personally asked me that to take his spot. And also, our bosses, the director of operations, reached out to me and told me, hey, the spot is opening up, so-and-so is leaving, and the clients are asking for you to take over. They want you specifically to work at that site. Mind you, this was the site where I started. So I was like, fuck yeah, I want to go back. I want to go back, see my people, my officers, the people that I was working with, because I worked my ass off to build community there and to build the trust within all the officers, within all the managers, but most importantly with my team. I had to build that trust from the ground up. So by the time I had left, everyone was like sad that I was leaving, but happy for me. Now, here's the thing, right? And this is where I know I was wrong and I shouldn't have done this. When I was working at the site, I was dating somebody who happened to be an officer. But mind you, I treated this person exactly the same I treated everyone else. Never gave them extra anything. Everyone got the same fair share of me. And everyone knew that. By the time I had left and became an account manager, I stopped seeing this person. It was already like done. So by the time, you can imagine, I'm a woman, I moved up fast, and the fact that the client and my boss wanted me to work there as the account manager, a couple of men, I'm going to say boys, not men, a couple of boys were upset. Were upset that they wanted the opportunity to work there as the main person. And they were upset that I was getting that position, or I already was in that position. It was just transferring over to a different site. So they went and made a complaint on me regarding something that happened long time ago that wasn't even true anymore. But this is to show you a couple of things. One, being a woman in a male-dominated industry is fucking bullshit and tough, but bullshit. Because I worked my ass off at that place. I earned my spot. These other two boys that were upset and crying and pouting didn't earn a damn thing. They were entitled because they had been there longer than me and were wondering, why am I not moving up? Well, you should ask yourself that. Why aren't you moving up? And why is someone that just came in moving up the ladder so fast? Instead of being upset and jealous and pinning me down, you should probably look at yourself and see, what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? How can I improve? But they didn't. Instead, they took the petty route and they went and made a complaint to corporate about a relationship that I didn't even have in that moment. And so, HR got involved and they had to suspend me. And then it got into this whole thing where back when I was a supervisor, I used to take my team out on team bonding stuff after hours. But apparently as a supervisor, I wasn't allowed to do that. And so that was already another thing that I did wrong. And so they just let me go. They let me go. And I lost a 6-figure job during COVID. So I was upset. I was sad. Everyone was already going through some sort of depression during COVID because we were stuck indoors. So you can imagine me, who just had it all, just had these 6 figures, having to start from scratch over something so stupid, over 2 boys that were upset and jealous because they wanted so bad to be in that position that they haven't earned. I was furious. I was pissed. I was upset. I was hurting. A lot of the people that were my friends there turned their backs on me, all because they all wanted the spot too. And I learned a valuable lesson. One, you got to be very, very careful who you trust at work. And two, do not eat where you shit. Do not eat where you shit. A lesson learned. So for a year, I went through it. I was like just at home dealing with COVID. Me and my roommate would drink. We would just shoot the shit, binge watch shows. I remember I was starting to get a little chubby and I was like, okay, I gotta get myself out of this. I gotta snap out of this. And so I started to work on myself, got back into the gym, and started slowly, working my way up. I allowed myself to be sad. I allowed myself to go through the feelings of regret and all that. And, little by little, things started to change. My whole point of this is it led me to my last job I was at and starting over in a whole new environment in higher ed, something that I never thought of doing. And like I said, at every job I'm at, I always look for growth. So immediately when I started in facilities and then somehow got thrown into the advancement department as an executive assistant for the advancement team and for the VP. And then from there, the president poached me and asked me to work for her. So then I moved up and became the executive assistant to the president and the vice president of advancement. I'm getting somewhere, I promise. As I was in this role, I was like, I finally got to the point where I was at that tech company, security tech company, where I was making six figures. I was making around the same amount. And so I finally felt like I was like, I got the money back. I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm stacking my money. I'm traveling. I'm good. But this job is very demanding. For those that are executive assistants or in some capacity where you are helping another person, you are their go-to person, it is not easy because a lot of them are demanding and some of them are rude. Let's just be real. There are the very few that you will have that are good-hearted people and won't micromanage you. But for the most part, there's a lot that are like that. And so it came to a point where I was like, okay, I'm mentally drained. Like, I don't even want to be here anymore. It was just like things would change. People would change their mind. And because when you're the executive assistant, people look at you to help them with everything, even things that are not part of your position. And so in the beginning, I would give them my all. I would be like, yeah, I got you. Like, I would help people. I would train them. I didn't have to do that. But I wanted to help people. I don't want to put people on blast, but I don't feel like I was acknowledged at that job for all the things I did. And it really forced me to look at my life and what I want to do. It forced me to ask myself, if I could be so good at this job that I hate, I can only imagine how great I'm going to be when I do something I'm actually passionate about. Because I've always put so much into every job I've been at. And I've never received that same passion or acknowledgement and love back from employers. Until I left, right? Until I left, that's when everyone always finds out and realizes, Veronica, you've been amazing. You've done this. You've changed my life. Where were the bonuses? Where were the raises? Where were the promotions? Where was the acknowledgement? But now that I'm leaving, that's when I get acknowledgement. I'm not mad. I've come to peace with everything. But my point is, I don't want to go off track, is that because at the job that I'm at, it pushed me and led me to going for my master's and getting into the therapy field. And now being here doing this podcast and working on this 12-week coaching program that I'm going to be putting out. That'll probably be out already by the time this episode is out. And so my whole point is I was going through it during that time when I got let go of that job, where I was like, everything's over. Like, this is it. All that work for nothing. And to look back and connect the dots now, I laugh because it all helped me grow. It made me see where I fucked up. It made me hold myself accountable. And it also made me see how the world can be, and being very careful and mindful who you become friends with. And not giving, most importantly, not giving your all to a job that doesn't care about you. Do your job, show that you care, but always have it in the back of your pocket that you know what's up. And you know what I'm talking about. You got to play the game. Play it well. Don't be stupid. Anywho, so, hey, you could be going through a loss, losing your job, and not knowing what's next. And hell, even for me right now, I'm in that space where I'm applying to jobs in the therapy field as an associate therapist. I've already been ghosted multiple times. Gone through interviews, got a bunch of interviews, still going through interviews, and I don't know what's going to happen. But you know what? My faith is so strong that I know that I am being directed exactly where I'm supposed to be directed to. And in the meantime, I'm working on my projects. I'm working on my crafts. I'm perfecting it. I'm building things. I'm doing things. I'm doing things that I've always wanted to do and could never actually follow through with. I guess that comes with experience, and it comes with a lot of lessons learned. A lot that I've learned throughout my years of life, of trial and error, of fucking up, of doing good. But, I'm tired of building for other jobs. And that's why I'm so passionate when it comes to this podcast and building my platform and building my coaching program, because I am my own boss. And guess what? If I put in 150% in what I'm doing, then I will get that return. But if I do that for another person in their job, they get that return. They get that return, and guess what? They can choose whether or not to acknowledge you or not, or whether to replace you or not. And I'm not trying to say go quit your job and go, follow your passion. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying play the game. Peep game. Know what's up. Understand. And play the game. But also, the whole point too is this resilience, right? It's going through a tough time where you lose a job to getting through it and being where you're currently at and looking back and just saying, wow, I made it through. I didn't think I was going to make it through, but here I am. Like, I'm in a studio. I'm investing in me. And that is powerful. So I won't go into too many stories. But those are just the two at the top of my head where I learned a lesson. I went through depression, and I had to feel it. And I had to really look at where I went wrong and just look at what happened in those scenarios. And I learned a lot from it. I became who I am because of it. And even with the people that betrayed me at that job, I got love for them. If they're watching this, I got none but love for you. You actually saved me, because I can guarantee you, if I never got fired from that job, I would have probably still been there. The money was really, really good. I loved what I did. I was on it. I would have stayed. But then what? I would have been unfulfilled. So I look back and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that everything played out the way it did. In that moment, I didn't feel that way. But now I do because of where I'm at and what I'm doing. So what I want you to get from this episode is to really look at your life, the adversities you have gone through, and how you've made it on top. What did you learn from that? What did you learn from the incident, from the situation? What did you feel? And connect the dots backwards. Where are you now because of that? Who have you come because of that? So I hope that this episode aligns with you and you get a gem from it, and that it helps you get through whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is. I promise you, you will get through it. It doesn't feel that way right now. I know you feel alone. Hell, if you want to reach out to me, reach out to me. I'm only one person, but I got you. I know what it feels like to be alone. I know what it feels like to isolate yourself and have to figure out what your next move is. And that's why I created this coaching program, because I want to be able to mentor women and guide them on their journey to becoming the best versions of themselves. So I just want to leave you with, you got this. You are that mujer chingona. You are a badass. No one knows what you go through but you. Say it out loud. Gas yourself up. Be humble, but it's okay to gas yourself up here and there. It's about balance. Remember who you are. You will get through this. The same way that you've already gone through a lot of different moments in your life, you're going to get through this. You just got to figure out, what is the next step? What step do you need to take to move forward? And my goal as your coach is to help you look at the bigger picture and set goals for yourself and find ways to get to those goals, attain them little by little. We're not trying to get there fast, just little by little. What matters is the baby steps. So I want to send you all the positive vibes, all the healing vibes. I hope you enjoyed listening to my story and learning a little bit more about me and my background and me getting vulnerable. It takes a lot for me to open up like this, but I do it because I truly want to impact and make an impact, and hope that my stories align with you. My stories help you open up and they help you voice yourself. So if you feel like this episode aligns with you, please share with somebody, or please share with someone that needs to hear the message. Like, comment. I've been getting a lot of people sending me DMs or on IG or texting me. I appreciate all of that. Keep doing that. Keep sending me stuff. Let me know what you got out of this episode. But also don't forget to leave the comments in the comment section. And if you have any questions, let me know and I'll answer it on the pod. I appreciate y'all. Until the next episode, and the next episode will be with the guest. All right. Have a good one.